In the age of quick fixes, 5-minute med checks, and symptom trackers, one form of therapy quietly holds its ground: insight-oriented therapy. It's not flashy, it doesn't promise instant results, but it goes deep into the unconscious, the unresolved, the story behind the symptoms. In a world that wants speed, insight therapy still dares to ask, but why do you feel this way? Where does this pattern come from? What in your past still lives in your present? In this video, I want to explain what insight-oriented therapy is, how it works, and why, despite all the cognitive and behavioral tools we've developed, it still matters. Whether you're a clinician, a curious mind, or someone in therapy, let's go beneath the surface. What is insight-oriented therapy? Insight-oriented therapy, sometimes called psychodynamic therapy, depth therapy, or talk therapy, is a type of psychotherapy that helps people gain a deeper understanding of themselves. The core belief is this: much of our behavior, emotion, and suffering is driven by unconscious thoughts, past experiences, and inner conflicts we are not fully aware of. By bringing those hidden patterns into awareness, we gain insight, and with insight, the possibility of real lasting change. How is it different from CBT or solution-focused therapy? Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is highly effective and structured. It focuses on thoughts, behaviors, and present symptoms. It's great for teaching skills to manage anxiety, depression, and other issues. But insight-oriented therapy asks, why do those thoughts exist in the first place? Why does this pattern keep showing up, even if I know it's irrational? Why do I self-sabotage the moment I start feeling successful? CBT might help you reframe a thought. Insight therapy helps you understand where it came from and why it still controls you. It's not either or. It's depth versus direction, insight versus intervention. Both are valid. Both can be healing. Core principles of insight-oriented therapy. Here are the key pillars that define this therapeutic approach. 1. The unconscious mind. We are not fully aware of everything that drives us. Much of our pain, our desires, our defenses live below the surface. Insight therapy seeks to bring the unconscious into consciousness. 2. Early childhood matters. Our early relationships with parents, caregivers, siblings shape how we see the world. Did you feel safe, loved, ignored, controlled? These early experiences often form templates for how we relate to others as adults. 3. Repetition. Compulsion. Have you ever found yourself in the same relationship over and over, just with different people? Insight therapy explores why we repeat painful patterns, often unconsciously trying to fix or resolve what hurt us long ago. 4. Defense mechanisms. We all develop ways to protect ourselves from emotional pain: denial, projection, intellectualization, humor, displacement. Insight therapy helps you recognize these defenses, not to eliminate them, but to understand them. 5. Transference and counter-transference. In insight-oriented work, the relationship with the therapist is part of the process. You may unconsciously react to the therapist the way you did to a parent, partner, or authority figure. This is transference. The therapist's emotional responses, counter-transference, can also provide clues to what's being enacted in the room. This dynamic becomes a mirror for patterns in your life. What happens in an insight-oriented session? These sessions are typically open-ended, less structured, patient-led, focused on exploration, not just symptom relief. You might talk about a dream, a memory, a repeated frustration, a feeling that doesn't make sense, or just sit in silence for a few moments and see what emerges. The therapist listens closely, not just to what you say, but how you say it. The pauses, the patterns, the contradictions, they reflect, ask questions, offer interpretations. Slowly, threads appear, themes emerge, and the unconscious becomes visible. Why it still matters. Even today, with all our new therapies, brain scans, and digital mental health apps, you might wonder, why does this old-school time-intensive therapy still matter? Here's why. 1. Because symptoms are signals. Anxiety isn't always irrational. Depression isn't always chemical. Sometimes it's the mind saying, there's something unresolved, something unspoken, look deeper. CBT may reduce symptoms. Insight therapy asks, what are your symptoms trying to tell you? 2. Because not all change is behavioral. You can change behavior and still feel lost. Insight therapy helps people understand why they choose certain partners, discover hidden grief beneath anger, realize how childhood shame still rules their self-image, see that success triggers guilt, not joy. This type of self-knowledge isn't just intellectual, it's transformative. 3. Because it honors the whole person. Insight therapy is not about fixing you. It's about knowing you. It creates space for your story, symbolism, dreams, regressions, fantasies, fears. It doesn't rush to solutions. It doesn't judge. It lets you unfold, fully, slowly, deeply. 4. Because modern life is shallow. We swipe, we scroll, we avoid discomfort. Insight therapy invites stillness, slowness, reflection. In a world obsessed with productivity, it reminds us it's okay to just feel for a while and to not know the answers. Real life example. Let's imagine a patient. We'll call him Sam. Sam has been through 3 breakups in 3 years. He keeps dating people who are emotionally unavailable. He knows it. His friends point it out. He's even read books on attachment styles, but he keeps going back. In CBT, we might work on self-esteem or behavioral changes. In insight-oriented therapy, we'd ask, what did love feel like in childhood? Who was emotionally unavailable when you were young? Are you recreating a familiar dynamic, hoping this time it'll end differently? Over time, Sam realizes, I chase unavailable people not because I think I'll win them, but because it feels like home. That insight changes everything. Common criticisms and responses. Let's be honest, insight therapy has its critics. It takes too long. It can. But sometimes, lasting change takes time. It's not about speed. It's about depth. There's no structure. Insight therapy has structure. It just unfolds organically. The process is the point. It's not evidence-based. Wrong. Modern psychodynamic therapies are backed by growing evidence, especially for depression, personality disorders, and complex trauma. It's outdated. Insight therapy has evolved. It now integrates neuroscience, attachment theory, and trauma-informed care. Depth never goes out of style. When is it the right choice? Insight-oriented therapy may be right for you if you're curious about why you feel or act a certain way. You've tried short-term therapy and still feel stuck. You want to understand your past and how it shapes your present. You're dealing with identity questions, grief, or existential issues. You value reflection and emotional exploration. You're seeking growth, not just symptom relief. Final thoughts. Insight-oriented therapy is not for everyone. It requires patience, emotional courage, and a willingness to go deep. But for those ready to explore the root of the root, it offers more than symptom control. It offers meaning, clarity, a felt sense of knowing yourself. In a mental health system chasing efficiency and scale, insight therapy quietly whispers, you're not a problem to fix, you're a story worth understanding, and that is why it still matters. If this video gave you a deeper understanding of insight therapy, give it a like, share it, and subscribe. Drop a comment. Have you ever tried insight-oriented therapy? What did it open up for you? Until next time, take care of your mind. And remember, sometimes the way forward begins by looking within.